It's been a minute. Not in a dramatic way, just life moving fast while I can moving quietly. Now, before we get into everything, quick heads up. If you stay until the end of the video, I will be announcing another giveaway. And I will also be announcing the winner of the last giveaway, my last video, on my Instagram. So be sure to follow that so you see that. All right, let's get to it. The final desk setup of 2025. I knew it was time to change my chair when my workdays started to feel heavier than they should. Not because the hours changed, but my body noticed before my calendar did. Longer sessions, fewer breaks, more time sitting in one place, thinking through things that don't always have clean answers. And eventually, your body lets you know. So I decided to reset this part of the setup. This is the LiberNovo OmniChair. What pulled me in wasn't just the look, but how they approached support. Most ergonomic chairs are built around static posture. Sit upright, lock in, adjust when something feels off. But work doesn't happen like that. You lean forward when you're focused. You recline when you're thinking. You shift without even realizing it. LiberNovo calls this the dynamic support system, supports that adapts as you move instead of forcing you into one position. The backrest uses what they call the bionic flex fit design. It flexes your spine and adjusts as your posture changes. So whether you're leaning in or sitting back, the support stays aligned. And once it's set up, you don't spend your day consistently adjusting things. You set it once, and the chair adapts automatically. The first time I sat down, it wasn't dramatic, it was subtle. My back felt supported without being pushed. My shoulders relaxed without sinking. When the seat works, the system works. And once that foundation is solid, you stop fighting your setup and put your energy where it actually belongs. Every story needs a foundation, and for me, it started right here. The desk has seen many versions of me I don't even recognize anymore. The overachiever, the procrastinator, the person who eats lunch, dinner, and sometimes breakfast right here because I'm almost done. This is the Uplift standing desk. One at top, programmable presets, heavy enough to hold all this gear and my self-worth. I've had it for almost 2 years now, and after everything broke down, this was the one thing that didn't. And yeah, I know it's motorized, but I still don't stand up as often as I should. At this point, the presets are more aspirational than functional. This is where things start to feel real again. The LG 49-inch ultra-wide. And before you say it, yes, it's massive. The screen. We are 100% talking about the screen and nothing else. Do you know that awkward gap you get from dual monitors that never line up? One's too high, one's too bright. You keep adjusting them like it's you, but it's not. This solved that. It's got a 32:9 aspect ratio. That's like two 27-inch monitors stitched together. 5120 by 1440 resolution. Everything sharp, everything cinematic. Perfect for editing, multitasking, and actually being productive. Now, while I was rebuilding how I work, I was also building something of my own. It's called InterviewOS. It came out from a season where I was preparing for high-stakes conversations like interviews, pictures, YouTube, talking moments, just like this one. Places where you know your stuff, but your nerves get in the way. So I started building something that focuses less on what you say and more on how you're coming across. So it's still early and it's still an MVP, but it's real. So if you'd like to go check out InterviewOS, I will link it in the description below. And honestly, check it out and let me know what you think. Holding it all together is the Vivo monitor mount. Nothing fancy, no flash, just solid, adjustable, and completely unbothered by the weight of it all. It's the kind of tool that can be overlooked and doesn't really need praise, but deserves it anyway. Honestly, I aspire to be this emotionally stable. This is the DeLux Seeker vertical mouse. Not sponsored, not aesthetic. Just the reason my wrist doesn't light on fire during long edits anymore. It's ergonomic, intuitive, and surprisingly easy to get used to. DPI switch right on top. RGB if you care. And after about a week, it feels just right. And then there is this, the Azio Retro Compact Keyboard, Elwood edition. It's not just a keyboard, it's rhythm. Every key press feels deliberate. Every sound reminds me I'm creating something, even if it's just a sentence I'm about to delete in 20 seconds. One are top plates, aluminum frame, mechanical switches that click like they mean it. Connects via Bluetooth or USB-C, depending on the mood, or how petty I feel about latency that day. And tying it all together, the Uplift desk mat. Big enough to hold my keyboard, mouse, and regrets. Soft, but not too soft. Just the right amount of grip. It catches crumbs, absorbs stress, and sometimes supports my head during export timeouts. These are the tools I touch every day, and slowly, they start to bring back a part of me that wanted to touch the work again. It is really one of my favorite things on my desk. It is the human-centric laptop holder. It is suitable for anyone who's tired of their laptop taking over their desk. This sleek stand stores your laptop vertically, instantly freeing up pressure space while keeping your devices safe and accessible. It has an adjustable width, so it works with laptops of all shapes and sizes, whether you're team PC or Mac. The soft felt lining cradles your laptop gently, ensuring no scratches or dents, even if you're a bit clumsy like me. This isn't just a laptop, it's a powerhouse. When I'm editing, creating content, or juggling a ridiculous number of Chrome tabs, this MacBook handles it like a pro. First off, it's powered by the M3 chip, which means it's lightning fast. You've got a 12-core CPU and a 19-core GPU running under the hood, which is pretty much like having a high-end desktop crammed into a portable, sleek machine. One of the coolest things of my workflow is the universal control. Apple's magic trick that lets me move my mouse from my 49-inch monitor all the way to my iPad Air without any extra cables or apps. Honestly, it's wild. For anyone balancing a mix of creative work, multitasking, or even streaming, the MacBook Pro is an ultimate all-rounder. And with its universal control, it just goes beyond being a laptop. It becomes the hub for the entire desk setup. Now let's move on to its compadre, the iPad Air. It's basically an extension of my main screen thanks to the universal control. Whether I'm working on illustrations, watching videos, or checking up on emails, the iPad fits perfectly. It's loaded with an M2 chip, meaning it's no slouch when it comes to power. I'm always switching between designing with the Apple Pencil and multitasking on the Mac, and transition is flawless thanks to the universal control. The 13-inch liquid retina display makes everything look stunning. A Qzhou magnetic wireless charger. With its MagSafe compatibility, your iPhone snaps into place perfectly, keeping it secure even if you accidentally nudge your desk. The 15-watt charging speed ensures your phone is powered up fast, and thanks to its ultra-slim design, it fits seamlessly into any workspace without adding clutter. Plus, it's portable enough for you to toss it into your bag for a trip. They also have a charging stand for my iPad, and it's the kind of accessory that makes you wonder how you ever manage without it. Designed to adjust to 7 different angles, this stand adapts to whatever you're doing, whether it's sketching, taking notes, or just streaming your favorite shows. It also has built-in charging capabilities, so your iPad stays powered while you work. This is the OBSBOT camera. It's your personal cameraman that's always going to have your back and not take things too personal. This little gadget is powered by AI-driven auto tracking, which means it follows your movements to keep you perfectly in frame at all times. Whether you're presenting on Zoom, recording YouTube videos, or pacing back and forth while you're explaining your brilliant idea to your coworkers, this camera has got your back. It shoots in 4K video quality, so you look crisp and professional no matter what lighting situation you're working on. The gesture control is also a really sweet feature. Just wave your hands and it listens. You know, sometimes I wish people work like that. Another aspect of this specific camera is that you can give it voice commands. If you want it to wake up, you can just say, "Hey Tiny," and it will turn on. For creators, remote workers, or anyone who wants to look good on camera, this is the ultimate upgrade. This is the Gitryin charging station, and at first glance, it could pass as a NAS. It is not a NAS, and instead of managing data, it manages something way more annoying: cables. It's a single place where everything gets power. Phone, tablet, laptop, all the little things that somehow need charging at the same time. But what makes this different is the design. The cables retract back into the unit, so when you're done, they disappear. No loose wires, no clutter slowly creeping into the desk. It doesn't feel like a power strip. It feels intentional. Once it's here, charging stops being something you think about. Everything has a place. Everything stays clean. And that quiet sense of order, it actually changes the way the desk feels day to day. I didn't realize how much mental space I was losing until I lost a file I couldn't get back. I had backups, I had systems, but none of it worked when I needed it to. At that moment, it hit different. Not because of the file, but because it reminded me how fragile this whole process is when the foundation's cracked. Since then, I've been rebuilding how I work. And the quietest, least talked about part of that rebuild is this. Not a camera, not a software, a NAS. Let me show you why it matters more than it sounds. NAS stands for Network Attached Storage, and here's what it actually means. It's your personal private storage hub, no monthly fees, no random disconnections, no waiting on cloud services to catch up. It sits on your network. You can access it from anywhere, and it works fast because it's built to. There are a lot of NAS options. I chose the UGREEN NAS Sync for a few reasons. One, it supports up to 112 terabytes. That's wild. It runs on a 5-core Intel processor, which means file transfers are actually fast, not market fast. It's super quiet, and it looks clean. But what stood out the most? The ease of use. It doesn't feel like I was stepping into an IT territory. I felt like it was built for people like me. Creatives, business owners, people with a lot of files and not a lot of time. Let's talk setup. No tools, no screws. You can slide the drives in, power it on, and use the UGREEN's web interface to start it. The interface is clean and not intimidating. You can customize how things are organized, create shared folders, automate backups, all with a few clicks. I had it up and running in less than 10 minutes. That includes syncing with my MacBook and testing remote access. If you've ever avoided setting something up because you thought it would be a pain, this won't be one of those things. Now, for a few years, AI has been a buzzword used in social media, in tech, and anywhere that it can be found. I didn't buy this for the AI features, but they've been more useful than I expected. The UGREEN NAS Sync can automatically organize your photos using keywords. You can search for birthday, or graduation, or beach, and it finds them. But here's the difference. It doesn't need to upload anything to a third-party cloud. Everything stays local. So that means no ads, no tracking, no selling your face to an algorithm. It's a small thing, but it's rare to see smart features and privacy in the same sentence. This is how it fits into my workflow. I store all my B-roll, YouTube footage, and project files here. I back up client work automatically, so no dragging and dropping. I can access scripts and edits from my phone, MacBook, or even my fiance's iPad. When I travel, I don't panic about leaving something behind. I just remote in and pull it. This NAS doesn't make me more creative, but it removes friction. And sometimes that's the difference between finishing something and forgetting about it. Oh my goodness, this is so good. 1 second, sorry. So here's something that people don't think about until it's too late. Some NAS systems are very particular with the drives that you use. Not any HDD or SSD will work. And if you guess wrong, you're going to be dealing with a lot of errors or missing storage or nothing at all. Now, the UGREEN NAS avoids all that headache. It works pretty well with major brands like Seagate, Western Digital, Toshiba, the whole nine. They update their compatibility list based on real-life testing and feedback from users. So instead of just guessing what type of hard drive to use, you can plug it into the UGREEN NAS, select your RAID configuration, 0 for speed and 1 for redundancy, and you're good to go. So if you're paying $10 a month for iCloud or Google Drive, that adds up. In 2 years, that's about $240. For maybe 2 terabytes. This gives me 112 terabytes. Now, I know, yes, not all the 112 is used for memory because of caching. However, that's significantly much more than you are getting if you were just using a regular cloud service. Plus, the local file transfer is instant. You're not waiting for any buffering or guessing where the file is going. I don't know, it just works. I know it doesn't look like much, but the Fluidstance might be the most used thing on my desk. It's a whiteboard, or I guess a gray board, but that's it. It sits right between my keyboard and the screen, angled perfectly. So when I need to jot down something with edits, with call, with brainstorm, I don't open a tab, I don't pick up my phone, I just write. It's dry erase, magnetic, minimal. I clean it maybe once a week, and somehow it feels ready for whatever's next. Sight is half the setup. The other half is sound. This is the Blue Baby bottle mic. It uses a large diaphragm condenser capsule with a cardioid pickup pattern, which basically means it captures your voice cleanly without pulling the entire neighborhood. It's crisp in the highs, but never harsh, warm in the mids without sounding muddy. It doesn't over-flatter like some mics do. What you say is what you hear. It's one of those tools that make you appreciate your voice more. I also kind of hate how many times you say like when you're thinking. I once recorded a sentence 27 times, not because the mic was bad, but because I was. This is the Focusrite Scarlett Solo 4th generation. If you're into recording music, podcasts, or just leveling up your audio quality for streaming, this interface is like having a mini Pro Studio right on your desk. And when I say user-friendly, I mean it's plug and go. No fuss or headaches, just crystal clear sound right out the box. The Scarlett Solo has a 120 decibel dynamic range, which basically means you're getting your studio quality sound that rivals high-end setups. I run it all through the Sterling MX8 studio monitors. Not flashy, not expensive, but honest. What you hear is what's actually there. Whether I'm editing voiceovers or letting lo-fi run while I work, they don't lie to me, and I respect that. I've had these for over 7 years and they're still going strong. These are the newer bone conduction headphones, and they're different. They don't go over your ears, they don't sit inside them either. Instead, they use bone conduction technology, sending sound through your cheekbones, which means your ears stay open. So you can listen to music, a podcast, or take a call while still hearing what's happening around you. That's the whole point. If you're working at your desk, moving around the house, or taking calls when you still want to stay present in the room, nothing feels muffled, nothing feels isolating. And that's the different way to experience audio. It's not about blocking the world out, it's staying connected to it while you work. I used to think the vibe was the reward, something you earned after the work was done, but now I know it's a starting point. The Govee RGB strip lights wrap the back of my desk. They're reactive, customizable, and not too bright. I've used fancier lighting, but this does exactly what I need. It sets the tone without stealing the scene. And the FTF and Auge lamps, honestly, they look beautiful. I rotate them depending on the mood. Warm glows when I'm journaling, cooler hues when I'm in problem-solving mode. The Philips Hue smart bulb runs in the overhead lamp and syncs with all my routines. It starts warm in the morning, 2700 Kelvin, and brightens to a neutral white by midday. Transitions to gold hour tones as I head into the evening. I have it programmed through Google Home, but also works with Alexa and Apple HomeKit too.
Cable management can be a pain, so I was glad Ascrono sent over their cable tray, which is my new solution to clutter all those wires hanging under the desk. The tray hides everything seamlessly, and it doesn't require you to drill on the desk. It's super easy to install, no screws required. The clamps are strong, adjustable, and fit pretty much on any desk material, whether it's wood, metal, or glass. Plus, it supports up to 66 pounds, so it'll handle your power strips, chargers, and adapters without a problem. This set of 2 boxes by Kirigen is made of solid wood, which not only looks great, but ensures durability. The larger box can handle big power strips, while the smaller one is perfect for those extra chargers. There are 3 cable entry slots, so you can route the cords through whichever side works best for your setup. This textured Italian wallpaper has this incredible 3D embossed texture that immediately gives the room this luxe feel. I went with the Hexagon feature in black because it partly contrasts with the warmth of the walnut desk while adding a modern edge. The texture isn't just for looks either. It gives a tactile element that makes the wall space feel more refined. I've had a couple of greenery pieces to balance out all the tech in the space. Not to mention they help with the air quality. Again, the fake. My go-to is this Ikea plant, which is basically zero maintenance, making it perfect for someone like me who doesn't exactly have a green thumb. I also got a small decor plant that sits right on my desk. It's a small touch, but it adds a bit of nature that makes the whole space feel a little more inviting.
If you've made it this far, thank you. This desk didn't fix everything. In fact, there's some things in my life that I honestly asked God, or am I still going through with this? But it gave me a space to think calmer, to work clearer, and an opportunity to talk to you. And honestly, I think that's what matters the most for me. Now, quick reminder, I'll be announcing the winner of the last video on my Instagram later on this week. So if you've entered, make sure you follow me there. And for this video, I'm doing another giveaway. To enter, a couple of things need to happen. 1, follow me on Instagram, because that's how I'm going to reach out to you. 2, leave a comment answering this specific question. If you could fix one annoying thing about your setup right now, what would it be? And 3rd, sub. If you really enjoyed this video, I would love to continue making more for you with your support. And that's it. All the items I'll link below. From my fam to yours, wishing you a happy Christmas and a happy new year. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you for now.